What's up, guys? Welcome back. Danny here at Mullins Raw Fitness. As you can see, we had a webinar last Wednesday, and somebody brought up a point, of what do I want to do on my off days or days I'm not training, or what do I? Let me rephrase that. What do I want to do for my workouts? My go-to workouts. I'm in a rush. I want to get a quick, good workout in. What should I do? This person actually asked for muscle building. I'm going to talk a little bit about best go-to workout for fat loss. And I underline fat loss because it's specifically more for fat loss, and I don't want to take the approach of weight loss because weight loss can be very misleading. We're trying to build lean muscle, become leaner, stronger, healthier, which will aid in burning more fat just from everyday living. Your muscles are more thermogenic. They need more energy to function, so it's going to burn a lot more energy just to maintain than somebody without as much muscle mass. So it's very, very key. So what we'll look at here is we'll look at the component variables and what you need to look at when designing a workout program. Okay, so you need to look at your sets and reps. Okay, sets meaning how many of them you do. So I do 3 sets of 10 push-ups, for instance. Sets is how many times around you do those 10 push-ups. Okay, reps being how many times I do in each individual set. If I'm doing 3 sets of 10 push-ups, I'm counting 10 push-ups. Okay, tempo is the speed at which you do it. A lot of, somebody that's trying to build muscle mass, they need to make sure they have enough time under tension. So enough time that their muscles are under adequate amount of tension in order for them to break down adequately under enough load to be able to build up bigger, stronger for the next time. And that's key. And tempo is huge. And tempo is one that you really don't always look at when developing a workout program. We always just do the same tempo. We always go the same speed. So an example of that, again, I'll use a push-up, is say I do an eccentric movement on the way down, or some people call negative, of 2 seconds. Maybe I can pause down for 1 second and then up 1 for 1 second. So that would be a 1-1-2 tempo. Okay. Rest could be, is usually looked at, as in between sets. It could be in between each exercise. And manipulating your rest periods for what your goals are and what you're trying to accomplish is key. Volume, I'm not going to talk too much about volume today. Volume is critical, especially if you're doing some certain strength training and all that. You don't want to overload and do too much volume all the time. Now when it comes to fat loss, volume can play a critical role into effectively burning fat. But you don't want to always do a ton of volume, or you're going to stress your nervous system, stress your adrenals. And our lifestyles, most of us are overly stressed already anyways. So we don't want to do too much volume all the time. And then intensity is how much load your body is under, how much weight you're lifting, for instance. And as you can see, sets and reps are usually correlated with each other. Volume and intensity, they're all really correlated with each other, but especially these ones. The more sets you do, usually the less reps you'll do. And saying with that, the more sets you do, the higher the intensity usually. Well, that can be the less reps you do, I should say. Usually is indicated with higher amount of intensity, or vice versa. In volume, the more volume you have, usually the less your intensity goes. And the more volume, usually you have higher repetition. So they all kind of correlate with each other, and it's very important and very tough, to kind of manipulate all these in a certain fashion in order for you to not go through plateaus, and that's where working with a professional is very important to kind of help you manipulate that. So what does the workout entail? We're going to look at compound movements. So I've mentioned in other videos, compound movements are movements that use multiple joints, multiple muscles, and many muscles. So again, I keep referring back to a push-up for ease of reference. As I'm doing my push-up, I'm using muscles that are connected through the elbow, wrist, and shoulder, and others really. But I'm using multiple muscles as opposed to a bicep curl where I'm just specifically using a single joint movement. I'm just using my bicep, so I'm not getting a whole lot of caloric burn there or energy expenditure. I'm getting the best bang for my buck here. And when we do those, we want to stick to mostly our 7 primal movement patterns: our squat, our lift, our deadlift, pulling, pushing, bending, twisting, and our gait, which is walking, running, sprinting. What we'll do today is in a circuit fashion, so back to back to back with little rest in between, and then you rest at the end of the circuit. What we'll do is I've found 5 exercises to be really effective. It's not too much, it's not too little, so you're getting your heart rate up, adding some lean muscle and some strength exercise, and it's very effective. Next, you want to have an attitude. Okay, you want to go out to workout, full intensity. Remember what you're here for. Remember what your goals are that we talk about, always writing down. Know what your dream is. Know what you want your legacy to be, and how attacking this workout with a primal attitude is going to help you get to that dream and attack it and crush that workout. Very important. And last one is awareness. So be aware of your body. Your body's very smart. Your body will tell you, am I feeling worn down? Am I feeling too worn down? And get to know your body and know, what is this I'm feeling? Am I just being lazy? Am I looking for an excuse? Or is it, which I see a lot of the times, people are just so overwhelmed and so fatigued that doing a workout like this could actually cause more harm than good for fat loss. And I know it sounds counterintuitive. We always hear, oh, I'm not losing weight, so I need to do more. When all actuality, what they should be doing is probably more stress-relieving exercises, light walking, stretching, working in exercise zone exercises, Tai Chi, yoga, restorative yoga, stuff like that. So be aware of your body. If you get to a point where you're feeling, the thought of workout, is dreading, you don't want to do it, then that's where you need to figure out what type of stress relieving exercises you need to do, and not just go to hits just because you need to lose weight. Okay, so our workout, 5 compound exercises back to back to back. What we'll use here is 3 to 4 sets of 12 to 15 reps. I found that's a pretty good range because you're still somewhat in hypertrophy, meaning you're still able to build some muscle, but the time under tension and the metabolic effect is much more there with a higher repetition, especially getting upward to 15 and even close to 20. And you have a decent amount of volume doing 3 or 4 sets. So you got a decent time under tension, a metabolic efficiency as far as the metabolic load on the body with higher repetitions like that. The tempo we'll go here is for the concentric, or again for the push-up as I come up. It will be an explosive movement, so we can hit some of our fast twitch muscle fibers, which are larger, require more energy to be expended using them. No pause, no isometric, and then a 2-second lowering phase. So again on the push-up, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, explode up. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, explode up for the designated number of reps. Intensity. I want you to push yourself and use an intensity of 1 to 2 left in the tank, or shy of failure. So say we're doing 15, and at max you could do 17 push-ups with good proper form without compensating, without pushing our neck forward or shrugging our shoulders. And we only do 15, meaning 17 was we struggled, we just barely got it. So 15 would still be pretty challenging, but you can maybe do 1 or 2 more. If you're just starting out, or when you're on your own, not with a professional, I usually recommend more 2 shy of failure. It's a little safer. You're still getting a good effect. Then working with a professional, you can maybe go to failure or close to it, depending on what you're working on at the time. You don't always want to go to failure. Again, very, very taxing on the nervous system. Rest. There's going to be no rest in between exercise. You're going to go back to back to back for the 5 exercises. As soon as you finish, you're going to take less than 60 seconds rest. If you're a little less advanced, you may need to take upward to 60 seconds, maybe a little bit more. But as you get more advanced, you can take a little bit less rest, maybe breaking it down to 30. But you want to have at least a little bit of rest to let your heart rate come back down, let some hormones start pumping and all that. So an example today of the workout you can use. Again, this is just a starting point, guys. This is just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to program design. But it's a cool little thing that can kind of get you guys going on your off days, or if you have an opportunity to work out, what you can do. So deadlift, say you could 50 is somewhere around 70% of your 1 rep maximum. And you're doing it for 15 reps. holding whether it's dumbbells, barbell, you're going down for 2 seconds, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, and then explosively coming back up, full lockout. Okay, so for this, for instance, this person, 15 reps at 50 pounds. Again, I'm not saying for you guys to do 50 pounds. I have no idea what some of you guys need to be doing for this, but it shows, it's just an example, okay? For this individual, we're just saying they're doing it with 50 pounds. Inverted row is kind of a pull-up using TRXs, or you can use a barbell or one of those bars from like a bar class or anything, or a dancing pole. You know, where you kind of on an angle here, exploding up, 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi down. Now usually with this, especially with TRXs, the lower you walk your feet, the harder it becomes. You want to make it as challenging as possible to where 15 is 1 to 2 shy of failure. I hope that makes sense. Standing shoulder press, 15 reps. I'm here. Okay, I'm exploding up. 2 seconds on the way back down. 15 reps. Again, good posture. Make sure you can 1 to 2 shy of failure with good repetitions. Stability ball back extension, 15 reps. If it's a little easy at 15 reps, you can just add a weight to your chest, holding here, or you can go from hands on the chest, hands behind the ears, to arms overhead in a Y position here. The arms overhead like that and back by your ears puts an added lever or added weight on the lever to make it a little more challenging. Then if you need to, you can add weight from there. This is the one with your stomach or torso on the ball, rounding around the BOSU or the stability ball 1 vertebrae at a time. Usually with your feet against the wall, I'd recommend at least to start. And then last one, a lot of times I like to do this depending on where you're at, how advanced you are. If I feel you need to build a little bit more muscle or work on a core conditioning exercise like a tummy vacuum, I'll have you do that there. If I just want to, kind of kick your butt and you can expend some energy, your stress levels are down, we'll do, maybe a metabolic exercise like a burpee, 15 reps of a full burpee at the end, and then you take your rest after to kind of really blast your heart rate up when we already got our strength exercises in. So I hope that helps, guys. Again, this is just the tip of the iceberg. If you want to learn a little bit more, you can email me, contact me. I'd love to help you out, or I'd love to work with you, and to kind of help you reach your goals. Mullins Raw Fitness, guys. See you next time.